Okay, I think it's like 3 something. It's probably 3:33. I don't know, I was just watching the dawn there for a second. But, anyways, there was some stuff I wanted to say. Now let me think, because now it's like a shuffle. Okay, so, okay, we'll start with the debt clock. That's what I hear the loudest. Okay, so the debt clock thing. That's Ingersoll. Oh, God, there's a second word. Lockheed or something. I think it's like Ingersoll Lockheed. Yeah, I think it's Lockheed. And so they have the debt clock, and so tons of people, like there's a lot of people now who are paying attention about the money thing. And on TikTok, I was watching and I wasn't seeing anything about the market. And so then finally last night, somebody shared a tweet. So there may be more stuff going on Twitter, and TikTok is just, I mean, it's a TikTok shop, and it's got a lot of people who are trying to audition for lip syncing contests, and a lot of girls out shaking their ass. Like, there's a lot going on. So, it's not quite as all the people. It's so funny because they're all like, I mean, it really is where you do see like you can go on live, you can see, is anything really going on here? Like you can go and see stuff. So it really is like an open window into other people's lives. Like you can see the energy. You can see who the people are, it's weird. I mean, some of these creators are really just blowing my mind, blowing my mind. There's one girl though who is constantly putting on the bold glamour filter now. She has calmed down a lot though. She is getting much calmer and talking very calmer now. It's like, yeah, dude, you're fucking intense. Like, who was that comedian who was always yelling? She's like, she's out there like that, but she's got this beautiful face. It doesn't move. I was like, this is weird. But anyways, so now she's like settling into the face. And today she was even talking about castor oil. And because she used to be very heavy and she lost a bunch of weight. There's tons of these people out there talking about with their skin and health and stuff. Like there's like there's groups going in every direction. Anything that anyone has going on, believe you me, you've got people you're going in that direction, who are, talking about what's working for them. And it doesn't have to work for you. What it does is it opens your mind. It like fires it up. It like stokes the fire. It gets things churning. So it's good to get a lot of people's information, especially a lot of people who you don't normally talk to. That's why it's important to cross the fucking aisle, cross the fucking whatever your blockages are, cross them, talk to people. They're going to spark some thought in you. So, and don't to judge them like, well, they don't think like me. They don't think like me. That's programming. As soon as you start running a program, catch yourself and start asking yourself, like, why am I running this program right now? Why am I telling myself this? Like, what's going on? Reel it in. And okay, so the debt clock thing, and then it's a weird thing, I guess, with the author of this book. But so you have all these people, because I've seen the debt calculator, but see, I don't look at it like to go deep. It's like, okay, so I see, I'll go in, check. Okay, so what's they're saying about silver? And it kept saying that there was no value, that the dollar had already crashed. It crashed a while ago. This is a game. This is the people in charge are just not complying. That's why they got to go to, World War III and shit. These other leaders have to push so hard, because here in this phony fucking world where people don't question things, that they just can trick them over and over and over. Like, we've had somebody who's not even the real president, like, the whole fucking time. Like, I thought this would be over in 2021. Like, I'm blown away. Like, and I've got my trigger coming up, because my trigger date by this other person is coming up. We're getting close. It's about 6-year anniversary coming up. And I'm sure that's going to affect me. Like, but that is where people got to see. These people who just crack me up. Oh, yeah, I did my healing. I woke up about 6 months ago. Yeah, I did my healing. It was a couple weeks, but yeah. Like, it's years, dude. It takes years. It's a new approach to life. If you can't approach life in a new way, you're not healed. Guess what? Like, this is a lot more complicated than you think. You're up here in the surface. Like, get down in the netting. Get down in there and see what's going on. because it's a lot more deeper than what you're used to. And so, okay, so you have a lot of people in, because it churns their fears. So, and that is beneficial. Like, I don't want to say like, oh, these stupid ass people and their fears and shit. No, it works for the whole movement of what's happening, because they dive in there and then they start showing us all this stuff. And it's like, oh, cool, cool. Like, fuck, I didn't know that. Like, fuck, I didn't know that. And then you've all got them hyper alert watching it all the time and sharing it. It's like, ugh, I don't have to go and, I didn't go and watch the market and thing. It's like, I know if something's going on, something will pop up because there's so many people watching this shit. And so then there was some tweet, and it said that the market was dropping hard for the second day. And I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it said something with the media is not talking about it and something else. And so there's stuff going on. But that was expected because all of the super rich sold a bunch of stock. But this is a show. You got to keep in mind, this is a show. And, I mean, they're using names, and they're using the pieces and move them around, but that doesn't mean the player's in the piece anymore. They're using their names, they're using their image, just like how these people have used other people's image. I just saw a fucking creepy thing about this movie, I guess. It was like one of those high-tech movies, these movies all these people like so much. And it was a woman, some actress, and I can't see that good when it's really small like that. And so I couldn't see her face and see, but it seemed like a movie that had a lot of money in it. But what money are you putting into it? It's a goddamn CGI screen. Like, are you just telling us you put $100 billion into this fucking movie, and then you got to charge everybody $20 to go see it? You got to charge them $40 to buy it. Like, so this movie, it's a split screen, and the woman is in one of the screens. She is literally, it's a green screen, and she's dressed, and all she's doing is just walking around this empty room. And then it shows above what it shows in the movie. In the movie, it is like she's going down an elevator. She's going over, the buildings are falling. Like, it's fucking madness. And I mean, so a lot of this stuff, I keep thinking, how much is this, they're playing this back on them to be unsettling to them? Because just like yesterday, Trump said early, like, everybody watch social media, 11 o'clock, we're about to hit that hard. And so I was on TikTok, like, I had YouTube, I was looking for something to watch, and I kept thinking, well, if some alert or something's going to happen, then, I mean, my TikTok's sitting here and my fucking, but nothing, and I'd check and I wasn't seeing anybody sharing anything, no telegrams, rumbles, discords, all that stuff. Because that's where all those people are. If you're looking for Patriot information stuff, the people who dive into that, they're on those. And and then it seems like the healers and the people are trying to make money off of other people healing, that they are on Patreon. Patreon, it seems to be one where people can set up ways to get paid. But obviously TikTok does too, because fucking Deron, he fucking did that. Yesterday I saw him. Okay, I've still got a lot of things to finish. Deron, I saw him when I was going through the thing, and he was sitting at his thing. So I was watching for a second. Okay, what is the deal with this guy? And so it's funny because I gotta see him. And he's, he looks kind of like a young he doesn't look like a gangbanger. He's Hispanic, or some, Latin descent, some, that range. And he was a little bit, not like heavy set, but thick, like he's bigger boned looking, but I don't know how tall he is. And he's got this kind of hair that just goes like this, and but his personality, and then his voice though, his voice is this actor, this Jewish comedian actor. I can see him really good, but I can't hear him. But that's who, when he's going around and you just hear his voice, and he's just, and the way he moves through the fucking stuff is really, really cool. And not all the people who do these lives that go around on these tours move like that. A lot of them are walking, And some are huffing and puffing. Some are just trying to entertain you the whole time. Like they're all doing that. But this guy is just his personality. Like tonight, they have all got blue balls because they every crime scene they're trying to get to just ends up being a dud. Nothing's going on. It's like they get a call, they rush into it, and something happens. Like I guess apparently, and so he's like, oh yeah, we all got blue balls and stuff, and he'll be talking to his people and stuff. But so yesterday when he was on there live in his apartment, I saw he's got all of these they're battery operated scooter thing or hover. I don't know what the fuck they are. Honestly, I'm not into that kind of stuff. It's a board and it's got a big fat wheel, but it obviously runs on a battery. So, because he's just gliding, he just glides through everywhere. But you got to have balance. Like I'm telling you, you got to have core strength. So I'm sure he's strong, and plus holding this for hours and hours and hours, like fuck. Try just holding your arm up for 10 minutes. Just sit around your house. Just hold your arm up for 10 minutes. And it's fucked. And so he's doing that. But this is his job. This is what I think is cool. Is because, he's taken an interest. He's taken something he likes to do. And he had to have built it up. I mean, I'm sure he's built up. This didn't happen overnight. And so he has taken an interest in something he likes to do. He's one of those, whatever. There's a lot of people who do that, like that movie that Jake Gyllenhaal one, where trying to get to crime scenes so they can report on it first and stuff. And then, I don't know, it's an adrenaline kind of rush kind of, but it's also got a cerebral, there's a lot of different things. That's the thing. It's like, there's so many different things to make us all up for how we are. It's like, filling in all of these synapses inside of us that are shooting off. Like there's a lot. We're not fucking one-dimensional like nothing. Like this is where we're learning our multidimensionalness. That's funny, micro, macro it is, because we're learning it in our inner world, but it takes us into a bigger outer world. That's really cool. And okay, so Daron. So he's got this, funny personality. I knew his voice wasn't going to match his face, because when you just hear somebody's voice and you've never seen him, I don't know, it must be something in our minds that just associates it, and then it fills in the gaps. And so, when I start seeing him, it's like, wait, is that your voice? Like something's not matching. But that's my problem. I've got to, realign my mind around it. But I still find this kid fascinating. And because he's got all this total personality. So he goes in the morning time and does this run. It must be until his battery runs down. And I don't know, maybe it's like 4 hours or something. And then he goes home and then he sits with all his people. And then he talks to them all day, and they look up stuff. They listen to police scanners. They look up stuff and stuff. It's cute as shit. And then he goes out later in the evening. Like, I don't know about all his breaks and stuff. Like if these people just get up with him and they just go all day with them or what. But then like he was just up, like it was way after 3, and he was out there scooting around. There's nothing. And he was down right outside of Chinatown. And then he was just like over by 9th or something. Like he's deep downtown. And then he never shows stuff up at the sky sometimes, like unless he's like going to show the moon or something. I've seen that before, because he'll go up sometimes across these bridges. Because I'll like when I'm going through looking for stuff, I'll see these different things. And I had seen him before because he would be up on these bridges showing these view going out and stuff of the lights and stuff. So he I don't know. He's a I don't know, cool, creative seeming person, but he's not. Like he's going past somebody. He's talking to his people all the time, but he's like, yeah. See, those are the what did he call them? The tree huggers. He calls them the tree huggers. So the people who care about the world or care about the earth, he just calls them the tree huggers. So, but he does have parts of him that are more, some of these people have a ways to go of getting out of the artificial, because they're so accepting, like they think it's fun. I think, like, man, it's stuff I can see and I don't know how to explain it because it is such a gradation. And it's like trying to go in and capture that and say this is relevant. But it's all in movement. It's all going and it's all changing all the time. So, and you can't pinpoint somebody's because the awakening is so broad and it goes in so many different directions. But it's interesting, like as you think of it as a social experiment of society and societal norms and what people will accept and the amount of abuse people will take and just bend over and keep taking it. So especially if the government, especially if somebody says they've got control over you, like it's crazy. And all of control is bucking its ugly head at us so that we see that where the control lies is us. That we've got to get mad enough to push back. That's, why everything's churning away is to get people to push back. So because that gives you a boundary. That gives you a space of who you are. They want to suck us in to be a part of them. And so many people have. They're just a fucking spoke in the wheel. But you have to pull free from all of that. It's definitely not acceptance. Definitely control and trying to get you to fit in. So you have to give up parts of yourself to fit in. So then you deny parts of yourself. You think parts of yourself is embarrassing. You think parts of yourself is shameful. You think parts of yourself is broken. And then they convince you, and then they tell you that you got diagnoses. And they've got some pills, though. You take these pills, we can try and help you. It's like, well, they're trying to fix something that's not broke. The only thing that is broke is your mind, because they're fucking with it. So, okay. So Devron, so this little innovative guy, how he's built this whole business. And then, he has merch. It's something about sweatshirts. And I don't know what his logo is or whatever. But the people buy his sweatshirts. And because he was talking about it one night to the people. And he's like, yeah, well, I got to do it. He's explaining about the order. And he's real low key. He's just real kicked back. He's a character. He could be an islander. He could be like an islander who moved. Not Latin at all. That could be like also why he's more stocky too, because a lot of islanders are a lot of the tribe people are just built bigger people. They're just, I think that they were trying to do something to take that away because they think it scares them. I mean, the way that, darker guys can just get so, muscular, like that's the natural thing. And then whatever they have done, in their interbreeding shit that they do, trying to, make the perfect human. And then they want to put their perfect human model out and say, hey, this is the best one. This is the best way to live. You better live just like this. And then they start fucking taking down everybody and then blaming it on them. It's like, what? Quit getting us in your fucking bullshit. Leave us alone. We're trying to get along with our neighbors. Fuck off. And anyways, but that is, that's what I'm saying, because this guy, and I don't know how it's going to go, but he, I mean, I think there's going to there's going to be so much shifting, but, he's already, he's got innovation going. So some businesses, if somebody has been building it in a certain direction, even if it crashes, like TikTok crashes and it's like, fuck, now what do I do? There'll be other things that are going to open up. They're going to be better. Like, for instance, like he's doing it through TikTok. TikTok, I'm sure, takes a huge amount of his money. That's why they do it for him. They are the third party that takes all the money. And that's what people have become so reliant on. And so if it goes down and he loses his business through that, then he, and then hopefully, and this guy seems pretty innovative. Like he's got probably links somehow to notify people of things going on and stuff. So he's probably got like some kind of email links or some way to communicate. Or they probably have all his email, like they would somehow get in touch. That's building community. And then make shifts, but something will open up, or maybe a group of them would open it up for themselves, because all that stuff is going to be so much more open Things are going to open up for you to be successful in what you put your energy towards. It's not going to be roadblock after roadblock and people trying to control and have you licenses and have this and have that. No, now it's you. You're open up on the freeway. You're on the fucking Autobahn. You get to go as fast as you want to go. And you direct your energy and pay attention to what lane you're in. So anyways, so if the crashes, and he would lose that business, and that's his big wake up thing. And then you have to crawl out of that, but you have to find your success. You have to redirect because there's going to be so much better. So then it'd be something that opened up that he would get all the money. It wouldn't be any fucking buddy taking a little piece of his fucking work. So that is, they can't get you in taxes. And then they probably do that too. Because of the link of how they got the financial set up, then, because that's what I was telling this girl the other day. It's like, get out there and put up things about dog walkers. There's old people need people to run errands. They need people to mow their grass. There's tons of little things that you can go and do. And they'll give you, money, make $20-$40 quick. And then you can make $100 easy in a week by going and doing nice things for people, helping them out. And then you don't have any fucking taxes. It's your money. Nobody else can fucking touch it. And that's just way smarter than go fucking work it all week long, get your ass bossed around, get told, when you can go pee and when you can't or whatever the fuck. And then you get your check at the end of the week and they've taken half of it away and you made the same amount of money. And you've for way less hours. And who cares if it's like, oh, you just do little side jobs. You just do. That is the fucking programming. Don't fucking let people's own programs run up on you. They're running a program. That's what they hold in their fucking work slaves. How do you get them fucking become work slaves if they don't have an attitude like that? And then the convincing on the education and shit. Like, so much of this stuff, too, is crazy as you see it all blow up and people start talking about it and changing their perspectives. It's like, click, 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 And, but, it still is very tight. It's very tight. But that's why the universe is going to assist. And I'm not sure, what's going on. Yesterday when nothing was happening with Trump and he wasn't saying anything, I was like, well, fuck, I really don't know what's going on. Everywhere they use the media to block us. And there's a lot of times where I think that he'll say something just so that we'll pay attention, then we'll see, like, it's like everything is about the awakening. So then it's just like, fuck. And then also the other thing I was thinking is this, to just keep these other people on the edge of their seats and making them sweat. And I saw a whole nother breakdown on Matthew Perry. Now I've heard his name so many times. That he, I swear to God, there's another Matthew Perry, like about 90210 or something. And his face keeps popping. I don't know. I'm not great with names. I've never been good with names. So he, there was a whole breakdown on where they think, he was signaling that he's fine. He's okay. He's protected. He was like in the Anne Heche thing. And that's what I think, people are faking their deaths to protect them so that they can go on, social, or so they can go, it's like to be in safety so that they are, under safety because they're going to be testifying against some of these people. And so, and he was putting out some kind of, his was a book. He was putting out a book about the bullshit in Hollywood. And so they were worried of his protection or something. And so it was a whole thing where he was signaling and telling what movie. He kept saying about to watch The Dark Knight. There's like signs in his thing about which Batman he was talking about. And then, so if you go in and watch it, he fakes his death. And there's a thing about baneberries, which are the berries. Like, there's a whole thing. These people, like I'm telling you, these people that get into this, it's cool to see how they see how they think and how they come up with this stuff. It's like, oh, that's so cool. So Anyways, if you're a big Matthew Perry fan, rest assured, he's probably not dead like a whole bunch of other people in this fake ass world. And, okay, so let me think. Okay, so I finished out with LaDawn. Okay, so let's go back to the money thing. So on the debt calculator thing, so you got all these people watching that and sharing that, and then it started putting up these pictures. Like, I think they're going through the website. So if you go to the debt calculator page, it's going real quick, and it keeps putting messages up, and people keep sharing these messages. So it keeps putting these messages up in this little block thing, and it's all stuff telling us. I mean, you'd have to just see them all. It's all stuff those saying about the corruption on the money, and it's going now towards us, and there's a big switch. It's said it through like biblical verse. It's put up like something about the Constitution. It's put up like a bunch of different things. So it keeps having, messages. So that even gets more people. I swear to God, there's people on there all day long and checking it and stuff. And so it's putting messages up, so they share the messages and whatnot. And then you go down, and you can click down here. And I don't know, it seems like people are seeing there's a little rabbit down there. And you click on it. And so you go in, you click on it, and it takes you to these pictures. And these pictures are changing. And the pictures are telling a story of the... something's going to happen. It's getting close, and it's supposedly 11/3. 11/3. And I don't know. I mean, I know the water is coming in at some point. I don't know the date, and you just got to ride the fucking, and then just keep in mind when you're on this raft ride through this, it's like different levels. Like when you're on one of those river raft ride things, it's like a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. It's like, I think we're on a 5. Like, it's pretty intense. And so anyways, but the water's going to rise, and it's going to change the map. It's going to change our life. Like, everything's going to change. And so it's going to happen. And when the dates come up and these pictures and stuff, you just got to just go with the flow, and just keep in mind, if you got to work on whatever you feel motivated to do. Like, obviously there's a lot of people that just want to go out and party. Like, it's blowing my mind. And then I have to keep questioning myself too, because of my attitude. Okay, let me finish this real quick, because then I want to talk about that. Because so on that, it's got these pictures, and so it's telling a story. And so you have people breaking down these pictures, which it could change again today. And then, but I just saw somebody do another thing that I was like, oh, this is so interesting. So they've gone now and went down to reviews, and they were reading reviews. So there's a review on the front page. And in the review, the person says something about bigly and huge. It's huge. And so then she was quite intrigued, like we all would be. And so she went in and started looking, and she found there's a bunch of reviews. And then when she got down to another one, it had a lot of hidden messages too. And it was, though, definitely saying, thanks, this is so exciting and stuff about now my daughter will finally get to really learn and grow, and and no stress over money and resources and stuff. How they just want to keep us all stressed and fighting with each other. So anyways, then, but this is what's blowing my mind. I mean, was Halloween always like this long fucking drawn out event? Like, what in the holy hell? It is weird. And, I mean, I know people like to dress up, like, and, I think masquerade parties will probably be a thing in our future. Probably a lot of people will have parties and masquerade parties, theme parties and stuff, because it is fun. It's fun to dress up. It's fun to go into costumes and characters and shit. But they're doing it on this ritual. They're trying to do. And that's another thing about from this 11/1, 11/2. Like, this is still, we're in this Day of the Dead thing. So there's, whatever they created about this Halloween and stuff, there's more to this period of time on the, I don't know, the metaphysical, on the different tiers. Like, we're on the tier of Halloween and get ready for Thanksgiving. And what are you going to do? Did you see that game? You know, we're on this tier. And then when you start moving out, then it's like you just start seeing, and then it's kind of embarrassing. Like, oh, man, people really are this, we call them sheep and stuff, but they're doing it. Like, people wouldn't be this way if they weren't manipulating them. But like, you can really see, like, fuck. Oh, yeah, which, by the way, another one of the things leaked out by the CIA. And I talked about this one a while ago, but I had just seen it again, and so I was using it. And so they said that if you have pain, focus your mind's eye on your pain, wherever it is. I was doing my shoulders. And focus your mind's eye, and then just keep repeating the number 55515, 55515, 55515, and keep repeating it to focus on wherever your pain is, and it goes away. It's programming. So I don't know, magic, I guess. So okay, the people. Oh yeah, so the people, these crowds of people. So I was watching last night, and then I finding myself being quite warped. So I'll get to that part. But because it was like all weekend was Halloween, and then it goes to now it's Tuesday night. Wasn't that Tuesday night? Isn't today Wednesday? I'm positive today's Wednesday. Today should be like the big. We should see big drama on the fucking market. But who knows if they're going to just keep blocking it and just keep talking about Trump and he needs to be in jail and all their shit. Which I think that's pretty funny on that Mike Johnson thing. All of a sudden a male prostitute's going to come and go against him right after he says he's going up against the Joe's crime syndicate family's taking him down. And then all of a sudden this male professional hooker it comes and he's going to come out against the guy because he's doing his secret gay life and stuff. And it's like, most people would not even give a fuck. Like, dude, who fucking cares? Like, that's between him and his wife. But what got me was, I was like, it's got to be one of Hunter's friends. I mean, it's so obvious. It's like, it's surprising that they're not saying like a drug dealer or something. It's like, it's wacky. But that, you know, is all the, I don't know, the crime all coming to it's like the tables have turned. You can totally see where the tables have turned, where the people used to be able to do their stuff, but now the people that were having it done to them are calling them out, and they're getting to say it. They're getting to say things, and they can't just all go up and do little testimonials and whine and cry, because they would not. People zone out. It's like, wah, 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 wah. And so they have to play it out. They have to play the movie. And it's trippy too, is, yesterday, I was not even expecting it to be so huge. It was weird. I don't even remember what it was. I was having, I'll talk about that too, because I was having a weird fucking day. And then, so I went on there, try and look for, I don't know, maybe I was trying to settle my mind or something. I don't remember, but whatever it was that really caught my attention. It was like, oh my God, so fucking Miami, Chicago, LA. Well, no, I didn't see one in LA. New York, Cuba, Korea, it must have been South Korea, Vietnam, all of these places, huge, like it's fucking Mardi Gras or something. I was like, okay, this is weird. Like, when did Halloween become this big? Is this just like in big cities like New York? I mean, I couldn't believe it, New York. And then when I was seeing it, because it's earlier here, and I'm thinking, fuck, it's late there, and this is a work night, and it's a school night, and the crowd's massive, all in the streets. I mean, it looks like, yeah, that would be really fun to go, with all these people everywhere, all the excitement and stuff. But right now, this is the where you're, to me, like, the coin's straight up now. Like, everybody else is still down here in the dark, but the coin's straight up now to me. And it's just like it's constantly looking at, trying to see both sides, just like, what? You're just, it's steering through. But, all these other people are down here under the darkness. The coin hasn't been lifted. And so they don't even know there's a light. They just are willing, to make the best of it in the dark, which is, I think, really commendable. Like, there's that part of humanity that is beautiful and commendable, and how they all just want to get out there and have fun and dress up, and, and that part is, how, take everything away from us, just give us a fucking potato and we'll sit there and play with it. We'll figure something out. It's like there's this part of us that they don't like, but it's like the more they take. But see, the thing is that the more they take, the more that you got to see that you don't need what they're giving. But people are so dependent that it's so challenging to them, because they have no self-identity. Like, they're just it's all different levels. It's just all different levels of understanding of what they're working on and stuff. So, we've got all things in the gradation. It's not like, where you go get your hair layered and you got big chops. No, everything is smooth. Like, it's dominoes. So, and we can stop and we can sit there and, oh, well, let's pick that one and judge it. But it's all of it is in movement. It's all of it is in this changing. But what was getting me, so, there were so many big crowds over the weekend. And then I kept thinking, oh, this is, there's going to be trouble here for sure. They've got the people right out there ready to go. And then they kept having these different protests and stuff, and then trying to build up all this violence. I mean, they've had the BLM show up at them and get all involved. They're trying to create a big explosive situation, and they're doing it. They're doing it. They're like setting it up, but I kept thinking like they're gonna make a faster action, but they are the ones that keep trying to drag this out. So to me, it's like the other side is trying to push in on them because they keep dragging this shit out instead of just making a move. But I think it's kind of like, if you're a kid and you're on the high diving board, and you go down there and you start looking, and it's like, fuck, and then you step back. It's like they're trying to drag this shit out because they know it's the end. They're going off. And so, so they keep like, giving us the blue balls. Like, not, come on, do something, make a fucking move, dude. And so, there was all those different protests that there was violence, stabbings, fights, and stuff going on at different ones. So there's a lot of stuff going on in different places and stuff. But you keep thinking like, well, surely they're going to use this one and do like, a marathon, the Boston Marathon situation, or they're going to do like they did in Florida and go into that one gay bar, and wipe out a ton of people. Like, you keep expecting that kind of stuff. And they're doing, like, I guess there's a bunch of mass things going on because they're coming in hard, because at some places, I think one state already came in and said, we're just coming in and taking your weapons. Because that is the side that's standing on the diving board looking down. See, they get all their weapons. Like, if they don't have weapons, we'll be safer. Like, they're kind of on the ledge, and they're kind of stuck, and so they're desperate. they're desperate. They're Jim Carrey, and they're just punching himself so he doesn't have to go before the judge because he can't lie. They don't know, what to do. They're fucked. And so so you got all these people who are, it's crazy because to me, it's just like you see all these people and they're all going and, everybody's supposed to be so fucking broke, but they've got these elaborate motherfucking costumes on. Which then, on the other side of that, it's like, okay, but that's cool because they are putting their money towards something they love, towards something they enjoy. And that's what we should all be doing. So I was like, okay, well, that's a positive. So take a negative and turn it into a positive. And then, because there's a mindlessness to all of this, just playing a robotic part. Just, a party? Well, put on clothes, get dressed up. Okay, where? That way? It's just like, there's just a mindlessness to what's going on in our society. And that's the, the shameful part. That's the part that's hard to watch. That's the part that is, you have to be in observation, because it will get you pissed, it will get you anxious. You have to keep stepping back. And when you're feeling all of those emotions, you got to keep stepping back. And remember, like, okay, we're watching a movie. These people are the players of the movie. We've stepped back. We've become the audience. They're the players. And it's hard. I mean, fucking hell. My daughter has, I don't even know how many. I think this many, but I fucking hope that's all. I don't know. She's lining up for the new ones. She'd laugh at me every fucking time I say anything, but she's sick again. It's like, and I'm not going to give her my negative stuff. Like, I know a lot of people like, blah, 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 blah. I just say detox. You got to detox. You got to detox. I've said, why don't you try that Ivor? And she's like, I'm not taking that. The last one. I'm not taking dog medicine or something like that. And it's like, it is working for people. This is where people, like, your biases. It's your biases. Hold you back, boy. Your biases are your fucking obstacles. So, and you can't see, you can't hear. You gotta make moves to break your biases down, but you gotta recognize them. And that's the thing, is why when the universe shifts directions, why it's going to be a giant mirror in your face, because this light side, you haven't put anything in balance. You haven't seen. So you're going to see your dark side. Your dark side's going to be big in front of you. And so anyways, so, okay, let me think. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the parade thing. So at the parade thing, so I'm seeing all of these people, it's the same mindless shit, walking around just, where's the party? Where's the beer? Where's the keg? Where's the, looking for fun, looking for connection, looking for something, it was like searching and searching. Everyone wants something. But the thing is that they can never fill it up because they're not filling themselves up. This is a big thing, boy. I've been talking to that girl about, like, man, I mean, you guys, boy, I think I have become, like, if you're talking to me in person, you just expect I'm just going to pull out a soapbox and I'm going to turn into fucking Jimmy Swaggart. I'm like, the holy word is coming out of me now. Like, no, I don't turn it into religious, but, I think that they took some people who were strong on the holy word and they turned them into religious prophets or something like that, instead of, try to control them in religion, instead of letting them be out there speaking the word to the people, getting the people to think, have your moral compass turn on. So, because I point out things that, and I've gained some confidence. Like, I think I used to just, but now it's like, come on, you got to see this. You got to see, look at this. It's like, you got to see. And that part's going blank, but it's big. It's like a whole thing. And I'm sure there's going to be more to it. I'm sure I'm going to talk about it more because it is really huge what I've been talking about with this one person. And so anyways, but let me think. So we got all these people who are out there just in the streets. Oh yeah, about looking, because all the people who are out there in the world who have empty cups, everybody's empty and wanting someone else to fill them up. And people don't see that is not even fair to do to somebody else. And besides the fact that even if you try and rely on somebody else to fill you up, and, if you think, well, if this person likes me enough, I'll like myself. And then once they start liking you, believe you me, it's inevitable that you're going to start thinking they're an idiot. You're going to start looking down on them because you don't like yourself. And it's going to keep on going and going and going. And anybody who's going to like you, you're going to end up thinking something's wrong with them. And so you are your own worst enemy. You are your defeater. You are the one who has to make the changes. You're the one who has to see what's broken and fix it. And you have to take the time. You have to take the desire to want a better life, to want to live different, to see, to take a, it's a big step to go from victim to empower. You have to take responsibility for yourself. You have to claim your story, claim your damage, claim it. But when you claim it, you got to, Are you one of those people that just runs around saying, oh, sorry. Oh, I did that again. Oh, I did that twice. Oh, sorry, sorry, sorry. Are you somebody who makes a fucking change in your life? Oh, fuck, I did that. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be a lot more aware of what I'm doing now. Pay attention. Yeah, I may do it again. I may mess up again, but like I have the awareness. I'm trying to catch myself. But always remember, you're running programs, and there's a lot to it. You got to really be aware of yourself. You got to really be aware when you're in situations and not get triggered, and to realize when you are triggered that that's the reason. There's something going on deeper for your trigger. Is there's a purpose for it. And so anyway, like I get to my dark part of the parade thing, because so this was what was getting me, is this dark side of myself. And I know it has a lot of, rational reasons. I mean, god damn, they've pushed us to our wits end. I'm surprised we have any hair. It's like we're trying to hold on to the hair we have, that they're not burning off of our heads with radiation. But the stress of like, oh my god, come on. Like, I thought we were going to be done with this years ago. And so it's like, come on, just like all this shit, like they are setting shit up, and then it just drags and drags and drags. It's like, come on, when are you gonna hit us? Come on, what are you gonna do? What you gonna do? It's like, it's like we're in this fucking schoolyard fight. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? It's like, that's how I feel. Like, come on, do something. You hit me first. So because we got to. I mean, there's nothing, we can't hit them first. Well, we can hit them in their pocketbook, but their pocketbooks are already drained. That's a big fucking show. That's a show to get us to realize, like, the depth to this money situation, and how it's, every single motherfucking thing that we were buying was all going to the same motherfuckers. And so, yeah, they would be idiots not to fucking... and there's, I don't know if I already said this one, there's a new class action lawsuit, and it's on the chicken. So if you bought chicken, between 2008 and 2020 or something like that, from any of these places, I know Tyson was on there, and it has a whole bunch of states, but the guy who was talking about says, well, it's okay, they're not checking on the states or how many chickens you bought. You don't have to show receipts. But you just go in and you make a claim for the chickens, how many ever chickens you thought you ate between those years. And they've already got the settlements. I think it's in the billions. And so all the people who turn in, claims get a bit of the settlement. And there's tons of these, tons of class action suits. There's going to be tons and tons more. And, there's just going to keep going. This is the takedown of the corporation. The judicial has changed. The lawsuits that go up. That's why I'm sitting there saying about Whatcom County, oh, you're filing lawsuits against me when that's become illegal. So Whatcom County has obviously got some corruption in there, because the judicial is on the other side now. But it has the split, because we're splitting. Like, you still have the people who are part of the corporation, and then you have the people who are the republic. And like this Mike Johnson fella, like he's the 45th. He's the 45th of the republic. So that makes, so he's a part of that. So he's the Constitution. He's God's law. He's not going to tell us how to live or what to do, because that's against God's law. And that's why, I think Trump's always saying about God, God, God. Because the people who understand the truth are not religious. But I think that the people are so programmed who are spiritual into religion that they have to take them down that road. They got to let the road fall apart for them. They got to let them see the manipulation behind the text, and all of the control and the corruption. The corruption behind it. Now they're even saying, like, the Mormon, the people who are high up in that, remember, those are people who are all into the polygamy and marry 12-year-olds and shit, that they are also a part of this Zion situation. And then you've got all these people, well, Trump's a Zionist too. It's like, I don't know what the fuck I don't know what he does or anything. The only role I'm concerned about is the part where he's playing about getting us to freedom. I don't give a fuck about any of those shit. And then when I see some of these creators and they're like going off on all this stuff, and I don't know every fucking detail, why he's bringing up why I know when I'm brought up about these, because these people are all like, see, he was setting us up and all that. No, he was trying to get you to learn that you don't just follow along. You're not a follower. Stop being a fucking follower. Don't just do something because, well, he did it. He did it. I'm going to do it because he did it. Stop it. That's what you're supposed to fucking be learning. These people, and then they get mad. And then they're, God damn, quit fucking having all your expectation. He's not your goddamn savior. He's here to fucking bankrupt the corporation and give us our fucking freedom back. So who knows what the fuck I don't know what all his stuff. I know the role he's playing right now, and that's the only one I fucking give a shit about. And plus, I know for sure everybody's got dark sides and good sides. And I know for sure that he has spent a lot of time in his life giving to people who had nothing out of the kindness of his heart. So, I would say he's just a regular person. If he's hopefully he's got some bad in there. We all have to have something to get in balance. And but the people, and they just, that's the conversation. We're going to talk about us. Like, oh my God, you guys. You could always go learn about something about the financial. Go learn about reincarnation. Go learn something about God. Go learn something about something. Go learn about quantum physics. Go learn about energy. Go learn about, like, fuck. And so anyways, but that's all going to blow up. Like, I can't even believe how people just seem like it's crazy. It's like some of these content creators that just show these other sides of themselves. Oh my God. And like this one, like, if you do not honestly, honest to God, why in the fucking hell, if you're not trying to be seductive or get somebody to want you, why in the fuck would you get so close to the camera, be doing all this stuff with your lips, and like, how do people not see themselves? Like, honestly, what is your blinders? Like, the veil is obviously so you can't see yourself, because you're blind to yourself and you're fucking transparent and it's embarrassing. It's like, come on. So the, okay, so my embarrassing thing. So let's get to my embarrassing thing. So I'm watching these parades and shit, especially the one in New York. And it started being like, oh my God, this is giving me the creeps. Like, I feel like something's going to start blowing up, about buildings are going to start falling, or some shit's going to go down. And then as nothing was going down, nothing. The crowds are building. People are just out there having fun, just mindlessly going around, talking, jumping up in people's cameras and shit. And I was just like, oh my God. And then I find my darkness in there, like, come on, blow something up. Come on, where's the bomb? Like, what the fuck? And it's like, oh my God, but I got to see, okay, this side of myself that is fed up. I'm done. I just fucking get it on. Let's fucking get this shit. Like, quit fucking, take the next move. Do something. Like, let's get to the next part. This bad thing has to go down to get these mindless people to wake up, to stop just walking around mindlessly. Where's the carrots? Where's the beer? It's like, it's just mindless living. And it's not completely mindless, because they've got your mind, they've got control of it, and then those people are all fucking going away. Then what the hell are you gonna do? What the hell are you gonna do with your mind then, when the people who got control of it are fucking gone? Like, that's why they're doing this, like, slow awakening, this slow rolling you into thinking for yourself. And people get pissed. They get fucking pissed. And that is, that's a reason why don't go in when somebody's like, well, show me. Go look it up for yourself. People need to go and look shit up for themselves. They got to go, and it is a part of development. And then you all of a sudden start being like, oh, I'm going to go look that up. I'm going to go look that up. I'm going to go look more into that. I want to know more about this. It's a development. And they've stifled it. They've tried to keep you they don't want that to come on. They don't want you to think. They don't want you to think for yourself. They don't want you to question what's reality. They don't want that. I mean, they went to a lot of lengths to create this motherfucking Truman Show, didn't they? And anyways, so yeah, my dark side. So I'm sitting there watching the parade, and I'm sitting there noticing to myself that I'm getting like yearning for a fucking bomb to go off. And it's like, come on, people, wait. And then so I'm going through all these different thought processes, because I've never, since I've been 3 years old, been able to just go into just look at the dark. The light's always sitting there telling me, yeah, but what about this? Yeah, but what about that? And, and now as an older person, I mean, this is a long running relationship and I'm not 3 years old anymore. I don't go do it anyways to just see like, well, I don't have to go, but there's little things I go do. And it isn't like, sometimes I've noticed it's not like not listening. It's almost like what these people do. It's like you hear them telling you something, but it's like there's like a something wrong with the bridge. It's like that you hear it and you can understand, but it's like you've got to experience it. It's like you've got to do it. You've just got to do it. You've got to experience it. And so but that's where to me it's like you got to remember you're on your ride. Don't get mad at yourself. Don't get judgmental of yourself. And always remember that any of the things that you do and stuff, they're always there to talk you through it. And it isn't just all bad and it's not just all good. It's you finding that balance in yourself. And that's all based on this diagram of who you are and what you're here to work on. So, people try and, I think it's just because we've been so trained to conform, to become like everybody else. And it's like, fuck, how do you be like everybody else? It's like, you're trying to get us to do something impossible, please everybody else. And to the point where they've got it to where like everybody's feelings are hurt over this and, misgender. And like, it's extreme. You can't be out there like that. You got to pull more into yourself, more into not trying to please everybody and have your feelings be out there for everybody to shit on, because that's that's your role. You're supposed to fit into society, be like everybody else. It's like, that's this weirdo society they want, where they want all the fucking hamsters. They want us all on the goddamn same wheel because they're cheap. So they want us all on the same fucking wheel, stepping on top of each other. And something about the middle, like oh yeah, because there's more shit going on over there. Yeah, because there's more like that whole thing is building for sure. And then, when you see them go through like a whole fucking weekend of motherfuckers out there like partying in the streets, and then a whole nother fucking like, this is a long fucking Halloween. I swear to God, I've never seen anything like it. I'm certainly not remembering it. It certainly was not in my awareness. But I wasn't paying attention to like what was going on in New York and Chicago and Miami and Cuba and all these different places of it's Mardi Gras season, I guess, for Halloween. I mean, it was a whole fucking parade. And a lot of the parade was people just walking in their costumes, but there was some that was like, I saw one where it was, they were walking, they all had the same costume on, and they all walked in this certain and they were all witches. It was like a whole coven of these witches in this witch costume, all walking together in this thing. And I was just like, man, people just don't get what it is that they're promoting and stuff. It's like they're wanting, I think it's because they're all so in the dark. It's like they want to be the best dark one they can be. It's like, well, we're all in the dark together, but I'm the best dark one. It's like, there's so many people who don't understand, spiritual people who don't understand. Like, I just saw this girl, and she's big outspoken on spiritual stuff. Like, I don't know, because a lot of these light workers, starseed, light, love and light ones, it's just, they start saying stuff and it's just like wacky to me. It's like, you haven't been spiritual long enough. Shut the fuck up. God, see, I've got a bitch ass side to myself. I'm not just all peaches and cream. There's a little fucking spice in there. But I'm not confrontational. I may have those things in my head and I may say them all out sometimes to you, but I'm not fucking, saying it to people. But I am calling people out on their own dumb bullshit. I'm not going to sit there and pretend. Like, if you're doing dumb bullshit, and I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to be like, no, I'm going to say that's some dumb bullshit. Like, you got to see the other side of that. You want to sit there and play in that, and that's just toxic bullshit. So, anyways, I've always been opinionated, that's for sure. And I'm very strong on my opinions, but I've got a fucking team that y'all don't see. Like, people think it's just me standing there. And this was what my day yesterday was so weird, man. Fuck. It was like, I don't even know how to explain this, because it was like a certain energy that I was getting from people. Just like before, when I was going to go on that trip, and all of a sudden there was this energy. Well, we moved the rooms around. There's not really any place, you can't have Stella there. You can't do, all this different stuff. And I was like, so I felt very, all the energy was, it was like the signs were screaming at me, stay home, don't go. And then I'm glad, because then it was like a fucking snowstorm. I don't even know what the pass is like. And then I would have been over there. It was all fucking snowstorm all in Spokane and stuff. I was like, and then my daughter was going out on Halloween with all of her friends and shit. And I was like, well, I'm sure glad I'm not there. I was like, she was like, you were supposed to be here? And I was like, yeah, remember? I was like, because I keep saying like all these different things that will come up. I'll be like, God, I'm glad I listened to the signs. It's like, what? You were supposed to be here? It's like, oh my God, I'm living in a different reality. And, so it was kind of like that. Like, it just, I don't know, like, people say things, and I don't know. I think that it's easy to hear things that they don't know that they're saying. And, I think that's a part of learning to be more mindful in your words as you awaken more. Like, there's nothing, I'm not saying that they're wrong or something like that, or they're bad, or they're stupid, or anything like that. It is but it shows about the part of our mindfulness and the awareness of our interactions and our communication. It's taking that to another level in our responsibility, because people say things all the time and they don't know, like, they're saying something, and it's like they haven't thought it through. They haven't thought about like that. Because in this one, so the girl who I keep talking off the ledge for the last few days, she's in crisis and wants to come back. And so I said, I'd get her a bus ticket when I got paid. That's next week. And so I said, yeah, you're welcome to come back. And so I was talking to her and stuff. And, and I said, what's your plan and stuff? And she said that she needs to focus on herself. She needs to heal. She's seeing that, on this adventure. And it's really good too, because she's so young, but she knew to reach out. But see, she doesn't have her own family safety unit to reach out to. And so it's a complicated web, but she needs somebody. And it really was giving me this whole idea of like, what, one of the things that would be really cool to do is in these communities as they're coming up is to build like a transitional housing kind of situation. So like I was picturing it kind of like like a ranch, like a family who has a ranch home with their kids, and they have, their barn and all their stuff, whatever, all their things. And then there's another house somewhere out on the property that is more like a bunkhouse kind of thing. Not like a full-on bunkhouse, because it's like but it's like lots of bedrooms and stuff. And so lots of bedrooms where different people have their own place. And so then all these kids, well, you'd have to do one that was probably just girls, like a girl farm. And so then the girls who are all these like older teenagers, like you think you would have to be probably, some of these like 12-year-olds have lived more life than fucking 30-year-olds. So, it would have to be all based on the person. You couldn't just say, well, this age, that's it. No, it'd have to be based on the person's maturity level, if they were at certain levels. And the dynamic, like you'd have to base it on the kind of energy. It's kind of like we'd need a lot of these kind of places. but it's kind of like an extension home to the kids that don't really have anybody, but it helps them to have like a safety unit, but also have independence, because that's the most important thing for all people to learn is their independence, how to take care of themselves. And that's why they've, tried to teach dependency and ignorance, and even depend on, don't trust your senses, trust what they tell you it is. It's all fucking nonsense. So to have like a center kind of place, but it would be like a kind of a, like these girls would have their own rooms, but there would be more where they're more in charge of themselves. Like it wouldn't be like you'd have to parent them all the time, but it would be like they have to keep the place clean, but they can go out and like in groups, like all the girls could be like, hey, this summer let's go out, like build a sisterhood, like a dorm. But a place that is like a safe place, like a farm where there's animals, like they have chores to go out and do and learn responsibility. And that is also, that's how you learn. You can learn how to read and write and stuff to communicate, but, you should probably work on your telepathy. We should all be working on our telepathy. But reading and writing is good, because you need to, I don't know, it's been something important for us, but I think that there's other things. Like I think we're probably able to put our hand on a book and absorb the information. Like the information is there for us. Like there's, the information is out there. We just have to learn how to tap into it. And but there's still an enjoyment to reading stories and hearing stories and stuff. So anyways, I think reading and writing, but that's the same thing as learning to tie your shoe and stuff. You gotta learn how to cook. You gotta learn how to grow food. You gotta learn how to take care of yourself, whatever it is, because we're still in this transition. Like we can base it on what this lifestyle is like, but at this transition, when we get over to the other side, it can be so fucking high tech that we don't ever have to, do anything. It's all gonna, for fuck's, we could have robots out running greenhouses, but we don't even need to eat anyways. Like, I don't know what it's gonna be. It's gonna be different on a lot of things. I think eating, definitely medical's gonna be way different. Our lifestyles are gonna be so different. Anyways, so having like a place where these kids, like older kids, could transition into adulthood by having supervision and having direction, so we don't have just all these, these street kids out there just trying to raise themselves and just beat down and whoring themselves out to make money and stuff. We got to get into giving them an opportunities, so and I think that is I'm sure I'm not coming up with this by myself. This is something that I'm sure there's a lot of people who are getting that message. They're getting like that download or whatever. And there will be places like that. There will be places where, like a family, you can have this whole fucking place. But you're kind of like the monitor to these other people so that they can kind of grow up. And then when those girls all grow up and then go, hey, now we're ready to go on our own. And the more you give somebody substance to self, the faster that moves. Like there's a reason why you got 30-year-olds fucking in basements and shit. It's not just the financial, it's the beat down, it's giving up. It's like don't believe in themselves and stuff. So, and then their parents are like everybody, it's just generational beat down. It's just like they were beat down a long time ago and it just went out. And there had to be people who stopped it and said, no, I want different. I want to take a look at this. There's a better way. There's got to be a better way. And so that's the energy, that's the light that is springing up in everybody. There's got to be a better way. There's got to be something better. And but that's what is the spark to change. That's the thing that's going to move us in the new direction and stuff. So, a bit on mine. So, on one of them, I don't even remember what the one was, because there was some interaction with one daughter, and I don't remember what it was. It was something where it was just kind of like, I don't know if it's like make me have to, not make me, it's not like anybody can make you do anything. It's like giving me opportunities to look at certain situations, to see something in a certain way, see about boundaries or whatever. And so there was a couple of the conversations where it was, because the one daughter who had told me, she had messaged me or something last week or something, and she was stressed over money. And then she was like, "Are you sure this is really going to go down about this money thing?" And I was like, "Yes, it's going down. It's going fucking slow as fuck, but yes, it's going down. This is real. I'm not fucking crazy." And then, so I sent her some TikToks of different people talking about it to try and say, "See, look, this is happening. This is happening." And so then, what was it? Because at first she said, something came up yesterday. So she was talking to me yesterday, and then something came up about it. And then she's like, "I don't watch those. I wish you would stop sending them. I don't want to just have all these TikToks. I don't care." And I was like, okay. So then I had seen a couple of things where it was saying about the money thing. And so I did a screenshot just where it said something. And I sent 2 of these screenshots, and then she got really pissed. And she's like, "I don't want, something about, I don't want you to send me this stuff or whatever. I'm busy. I'm trying to do something," which is really funny, is because before, when I've said, "Well, I don't like to call, like, because I figure you're probably busy doing stuff, like you got all these kids and stuff. I just figure you'll call when you're not busy." And she's like, "Well, you can call, and I can say if I'm busy, or, it's not that big a deal." But then, like, see, turn around and say, "Well, I'm busy. Don't send me something." Okay. But this is where people don't see these sides of themselves. They're just reacting to the moment, what's happening right here and right now. They're irritant, and they're not, they're just not present in their whole thing. And so then I was just like, I was going to just blow it off. I was just like, okay, whatever. And then, but they don't ever let me do that. And so I said, "Well, I thought, I sent you the stuff because you said you were worried or you wanted to know. So I was trying to ease your mind and show you, like, don't worry, things are going great." And I don't remember what she said, but it was definitely just snotty. And so then, you go through your whole, okay, then I won't send anything. But then it's like, well, that's a very childish thing. "I'll never send you another thing." So it's just like, okay, I'm not going to send anything. I'm not going to say anything. Probably if she comes at me and says anything else about the money thing, like, "Well, what do you think's going on?" Go look it up. Go look it up. Go read about it. Go learn about it. Go figure it out for yourself. Don't come and ask me about it. And then I try and, think, oh, well, she'd want to know about this. She'd want to know about that. And then she's like, "I don't even look at those." It's like, okay. So there was that whole thing, the communication, and it's always like, I'm always too much. I'm always, too much. And so then I was talking to the one girl who wants to come back and stuff, and like, she's going through it, and it's very emotional. Like, to be honest and be real with somebody is emotionally draining. It's, I mean, we're all used to just being fake and phony. And, I'm not going to say the truth. I'll just go back over here and tell this other person and talk shit about it and say what I think the truth is to them. But to this person, I'll just say whatever I think they want to hear. We get this little fucking game playing bullshit. And so, but when you're talking to the person and you're being real and you're telling them and you're pointing out their own stuff that they're not seeing, their own defeatist, the things that they're doing as their own worst enemy, they're their problem, is them. And so when you're trying to point that out so they can see it, and that's not just saying like, "Oh, you're so stupid, you do this and you do that." No, is saying, like, for instance, if you let somebody into the house and they do something that you don't like, and that you knew who they were before you let them in, and they came in, and then they did the thing that you knew that they would do, how can you get mad at them? Like, You cannot turn that and make them the problem. You're the problem. You got to go in and see, like, what was going on in your mind. What was going on in your mind to even want you to talk to this person? What was going on when you already knew this person's character? You know, what in you, that's where you got to go in. What in me was why I wanted to talk to them, why I wanted them to come over. Like, start going into yourself, start questioning yourself. What was I trying to fill? What was I trying to gain? What was I trying to get from this person? Because what you want to do is get to your pain. You want to try and figure yourself out. Like, why did I do that dumbass thing? But don't fucking turn around and say, play the victim. You know, no, you got to see, no, I did this. I set this whole motherfucking thing up. And so, you know, when you're pointing this shit out to somebody, no, you can't play that game. No, you can't play that drama. No, you can't. No, you're not going to run that with me. No, I'll tell you right there. No, who did what? No, you know. But anyways, it's draining. And then, but there was a few hours break, probably while she was asleep or something. And then, so then she messaged, and that's when I was about to go to sleep. And so I'm got, you know, I swear to God, the universe is a bitch ass sometimes. You know, I got the lights off and shit. I'm like sitting there, and I have my phone. You know, it's like, oh, I'll go see what's going on with LaDawn. No, Daron. No, I don't know. I might have been. Oh yeah, because I was watching those motherfucking parades, waiting for the bombs to go off, and I'm thinking, God, I'm dark. God, what's wrong with you, Kelly? And so, anyways, the So then, so she's saying, you know, that she wants to come back and stuff, and that she wants to work on herself. Like, she's got herself in a crisis. She's got herself in a drama, like, which is, you know, I mean, fuck, this is what teenagers that have no direction do. Fuck, I had parents, and I was a fucking wreck-ass mess. I was fucking, god damn. You know, it was rough years. And so, anyways, but, you know, she had to, everybody has to get to that point of seeing and wanting something different, wanting something more, and seeing, you know, you're your own worst enemy. You're the one who's fucking everything up. It's you. But you ought to get to that place to see, because that's what you can change is you. You can't change anybody else. And going around keying people's cars and shit, you're just creating more drama for yourself. Like, stop it. Stop it. And then, so anyways, you know, I'm talking to her about her coming back and stuff. And it was like, but, you know, I'm going through a lot of different emotions because, like, I've really spread out into that room, and I've got all my clothes organized, and you know, I've already got fucking clothes piled up for my, I'm going to be going here, I'm going to do that. Like, so, you know, and my little, as you are manifesting your future, I've been hard at work. And so, and I'm very spread out in there. It's like, oh, so I'm thinking, oh, fuck. Now I gotta move that shit. Like, what the fuck? How am I gonna do that? So I'm, you know, got my mind going in another direction. And I'm never gonna turn my back on somebody in need and say, no, figure it out for yourself. It's like, no, you can have shelter while you figure it out. You gotta figure it out for yourself. I can't fucking fix you. I can't fucking help you. I can't heal you. You gotta do it for yourself. If you want to do it for yourself, yes, you can have a bed to sleep in and a place to eat and pee. So, but you've got to, you know, you've got to come up with your own existence. You got to create a life for yourself, find your desires and stuff. And she did notice, like, she didn't even know what her interests are. All the things that I was saying, she you know, she knew I was right. She wasn't arguing at all. She knew I was right. And then she was thought about it. That's reflection. You know, and I wasn't being mean. I wasn't calling names or saying mean things. I was just pointing out the part she wasn't seeing, you know, where she's thinking, oh, this person did this to me. It's like, no, you did this. You set this up. And so that's the part you need to get back to. Like, we all need somebody who can tell us where we started from. You know, no, that happened, but you did this first. Because everybody wants to skip this part and go straight into what they did back to me. And it's like, then you're going to just be fucking feeling frustrated all the time. Because you're not even seeing who the problem is. So, anyways, so then all of a sudden, my other daughter, the one who has the guardianship over her, which is only a couple more weeks because she's about to have her 18th birthday. And she is, oh, maybe her birthday is February. No, hers is December. Yeah, her birthday's coming up. There's 3 birthdays coming up. Well, my one daughter, she just had her birthday's the 3rd. No, the 2nd. I was about, oh, because it's the 3rd was the day we always go to do the thing where they want us to fill in the dots. Oh, so I wonder if that has some significance to all this changing to the Republic thing. Like, it all has to do with this thing, getting us off the money, getting us onto freedom, on God's law. And that's already in the movement. It's already in the judicial and stuff. Like, the stuff is more where all the pieces have to come together. And that, the biggest piece is the people. Because people mindlessly just go around and then you say trigger words to them and they'll lose their goddamn minds. They're just not, they're just lost at the party. They're lost at the party. And so anyways, so my daughter was saying something to me about, well, I'll help her get there and stuff, or I'll get her stuff there and stuff. And I said, well, you trying to do that like right now? Because I would like to have the day, like I said, I would get her next week. I like to have that time because I've got a lot of stuff I got to clean up. Like, I've got all my stuff in my room. And keep in mind, this is the daughter her spare room is their closet, their whole entire closet. They've built it into a closet. And now there's not even room for me to have a mat on the floor. That's how this room's a closet. And now this is the person who's telling me when I'm saying, oh, well, I've got all my clothes in there. I've got to move stuff around. I got to get organized. Well, you really need to just get rid of your clothes. You've got way too many clothes. You've got so much clothes. You just need to get rid of some. Take them down to a place and get rid of them. What? Ooh, God damn, that was a trigger. Ooh, fuck. That was a motherfucking trigger. You don't see them coming, man. I mean, I was in tears over this one. It was like, are you fucking kidding me? That is what you would say. Like, to not even have any respect for, like, everybody can take it however they want. I know how I took it, and I know how I reacted, and I know the boundary that I fucking set. And she was like very surprised. She was just like, what? That's not what I meant. Well, really? Think about what you meant. Because that's the thing, is people say this stuff and they don't realize you're just dismissive. This is something important to me. And besides the fact, I have fucking purged and purged and purged and purged throughout this whole fucking time. I had to go from a 5-bedroom house, the house that I had when I had the brain injury, a big old house, a pool, all this stuff, furniture in all the rooms. Even back before, when I was married and we had the little farmhouse and we lived out in the country, and purging down from that, oh my gosh. Like, I had to purge down so much from that. Then go into that house, and then you start filling that space up. And then when I got the brain injury, I lost all that. Then, it was just purging. I had to go smaller. And then, always the attitude was always like, your stuff doesn't matter. Get rid of it. Who cares? And so at this point now, where I've gotten myself, where I've gotten my own place, I've fixed it. Nobody comes to see me. I'm the one who goes out to see everybody else. And then, but it just is a constant driving home always is like, fuck. It's weird how you can be around those people who just devalue. Like, that's what I said. It's just like, it's weird to be around so many people who just have no value in you. They just don't value you. They value you as a mom. Like, they don't want to fucking lose their mom or something. Like, but the things about you that they need, they want that. But the things about you that make you, that's kind of like an irritant. And that has been most of my life. Like that. It is like the fucking lock in. Like, I don't know what's about to happen. I don't know how the things are about to shift. I know, the voices in my head, what they say, but, I know what you're saying, but let's see the proof. Let's see what's about to happen, because this is going to fucking drive me crazy. But, But yeah, it's weird to just have people who, just don't value. And then even when you're trying to tell them, like, well, I'm caring about you, I'm more thinking about you and stuff like that. And it's just be like, um, uh, I don't know. There's a lot of, I think there's a lot of energy being put out that they don't realize what they're putting out, but that's the energy that has to purge out. And that me seeing it is what I need to heal, is my triggers to help me heal. And, and so much of it has to do with, people who you love, people who you thought kind of created, but you're not the creator. You're just the fucking vehicle that they use to come into their own reality. And then there's lessons attached, associated with us all. And so but however this is going to go down, because I don't know. There's a whole thing about where a lot of people say you're going to see yourself. You're going to see yourself through this. Oh, yeah, because I want to say about that girl, the spiritual, because that is why there's so many of these spiritual people. I have a hard time, but it's all different levels. So I'm not saying that she's wrong. I'm just saying there's all different levels, and where people are trying to market themselves as being, there's a lot of people out there who are life coaches who are still in the process of healing. They're nowhere near to be telling people what to fucking do. And then there's the whole energy of people who shouldn't be having someone else tell them what to do. And so anybody the only person who should be telling you what to do is inside of you. And so oh yeah, because she said that, so she was saying, she didn't give a fuck about money, she didn't give a fuck about this, she didn't stuff like, yeah, I don't give a fuck about that, I don't give a fuck about that, I don't give a fuck about that. But then she goes, but I do give a fuck when you're killing kids. And she got real mad. And on the 3-dimensional level, yeah, in the game, yeah, this is some bullshit. The games they're playing and who they're playing them against and what they're doing is some bullshit. But when people are, the spiritual side is, yeah, you're not, I mean, you think it's a bad place where they're going? Like I don't get it. Like, yeah, it's sad because there's loss. It's sad because of how violent some of these stories play out, and we think that that's what's really happening. But on the spiritual side, when you really have advanced through your spiritual side, you see the spiritual side. You see, like, oh, they're just leaving. They're just going home. They're out. And but as a societal norm in the 3-dimensional game, then yeah, you got to see that we are not going to have that. But when somebody is like this super spiritual person and they're bawling and crying and falling apart over stuff like that, it is like, and then do you understand what's going on? Do you understand the cycles? Do you understand this breaking? Like, this is a huge break free. This is a huge breaking away. This is a huge transitioning happening. These things have to play out. It's like, that's where I was like, what? Like, I don't even know. Like, I wonder if I gathered up a bunch of spiritual people. Like, I mean, we're all on different levels, that's for sure. And it's not because I'm mean or cruel and I have no heart. Fuck, I'll cry over every fucking thing. But I know, I can't just go into that 3-dimensional pain and suffering over death when death is a release to go home. Like, it's like, and it's a completion. You did what you came for. You finished. You can't leave until you do. Like, that's the rules. That's the rules. So, and I know there's a ton of kids here to get us to see, because people are just, I mean, the abuse of kids and dogs and the selfishness of whatever happened in the 80s and 90s, with all these kids who were suddenly those left at home. Their parents were just at work all day. They had to come home, make their own dinner, sit in their rooms themselves. Nobody gave a shit where they were or what they were doing. Parents just went to the bars after work, and I mean, our society went, in a very selfish direction at some point. It's kind of around that time when they start burning all their hair off and perms and shit. But I wonder, really, like, how far back did the perm go? Like, that would be a curious thing. Like, the old ladies who were getting them first, did that start fucking giving them Alzheimer's or dementia or something? And then it's like, fuck, that works good. Let's start fucking getting this shit on everybody. Like, fuck, probably. That's how this fucking place works. Oh, it's killing those ones? Go get buy a bunch of it. Let's put it in every store. Oh my God. This is madness. So, okay. Now, what all have I covered? So, yeah, because so Trump saying that stuff like, be ready, something's about to go, and everything was going to change. Because even Roseanne Barr was putting out tweets or something. I was seeing people share those, and she was saying last Halloween was our last Halloween, that everything changes on this one. So to us, that feels like, okay, so they're about to bomb us, they're going to just start blowing us up. But it could mean it's all changing in the banking and stuff, like the government, like that was the deadline, because there's these deadlines going on with BRICS and all that. But a lot of that is just the pushing the bankers out, and the deadlines are to get the people's attention. And so, because we've had motherfucking deadlines come and go. And don't forget, we're supposed to be on the Fed now again. Like, it was supposed to start today. So, but it was supposed to start at the beginning of July, and then because the people all get all caught up in that, and somebody was telling me, yeah, it did start, and I was like, well, then how are we using cash? People still using cash? Then are we on it? It's like, goddamn, people, like, think, fuck, oh God. Oh, but I mean, you can't, like, the judgmental side of me comes out where I get frustrated for people not thinking. Like, fuck, god damn. Like, I used to be shamed for what I saw, and still, that was yesterday too. What was that one? Because somebody did, you pay attention, you whatever it is. It's like, well, somebody's got to. Fuck, somebody's got to pay attention. But, I see things that other people don't see. And so other people think, like, they're so smart. And I'm sitting there thinking, you're not even basing anything on this. Like, what? So, anyways, it's all of ego. That's what they fucking use, is your fucking ego to get y'all bloated up and full of yourselves, to change all fucking society direction. Go from Mayberry, RFD, Ozzy and Harriet. The pressure was on us all to be so fucking perfect, to turn it into the perfect they want is the darkest version of yourself. The pervy, needy, whiny victim. It's like, god damn. So, anyways, let me think. Okay, so I'm still expecting the money thing to go down. I mean, we're in the movement. So however, whatever goes on, however it's going, it's moving. This is moving us out of one thing and into another. So whatever days, we can't sit here and think, okay, well, that means this. Because I kept thinking, well, it must be there's going to be huge violence. There's going to be some, but they're still setting it up. They're still like, oh, there was another bombing over here and all that stuff. Like, they're getting it set up. And then it's like, kind of like all the people just party, not paying attention. And that is like, it's going to come in and hit you blindside. So they skipped all of these great opportunities because something bigger is coming, I think. And you're not going to fuck around anymore with the little shit. Something big is coming. But the big thing is the thing that's going to turn everything in the right direction, because, we got just people who mindlessly just give them a weekend and they'll fucking do slave labor the whole fucking time, bitch and whine and complain and be the victim. Just give them an opportunity to get out there and party, and they'll make the best of it. So, people got to want more, not just like make the best of it. No, you got to stop wanting what these people have. Start seeing, like, fuck, I could be living way different. I could have all my time to myself. It just depends on what you value. Some people value being the victim. Some people value, well, I worked 80 hours this week. I worked my ass off and got nothing for it. That's what they want to do. But that's what the universe needs. They need all these parts to play. They need to see everything. Everything has to be learned. It's like the ultimate brain of all things has to have all things to know. Just like what I was saying with these people who, they think they're so smart and they're basing their thoughts and opinions on something, but they don't even see the other side. So, there's just so much more. You got to keep opening your eyes, opening your mind, talking to people you wouldn't talk to. And it's an opening. It's like it's something that is closing off, but it's something is opening. So we're going through the opening, and it's micro, macro. So it's on every level. So you got to open your mind, open up your forgiveness, open up your vulnerability, open up all these aspects of yourself that feel scary. But you got to go through your healing so it doesn't feel scary. So you can stand up. So I can not get mad. Like, I'm not going to get mad at my daughters or something. It's going to make me see something. I see an attitude or something like that. And then I know we're in this movement. We'll see. We'll see. But, I said a long while ago, I said, I think part of my kids' awakening is to see me through somebody else's eyes. I don't think that they can, I think that they are so locked in of seeing me through someone else's eyes right now that they're going to have to see me through someone else's eyes. And it's like, I've always seen that they're going to see me like through the public's eyes or something. And, which, by the way, I saw YouTube yesterday, flip my thing back. I was sitting there looking right at the thing and I was thinking, oh, that's weird. 109 right here and 109 right here. And the top one's still moving super slow. And so, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, so this one's moving, this one's the same. So it must be the title. It isn't like they just go in and watch the next one. Like, it's based on the title. And so I'm just, like, looking at those things, and while I was looking, the 109 flipped back to 100. I was like, oh, I caught you motherfuckers. I saw you do it right there. And there's so many times where I've seen them do it. But then it's like, because they'll flip the thing. But I was so dead set on the 109 and 109 because there's so many times I'll see it flip. And I'll think, okay, wait a minute. Wasn't that number just what? But this one was real specific. And then I saw him do it. So I was like, thank you for the confirmation. I knew they were fucking doing that shit. So this constant messing with my account, holding this information back, keeping, it's like they got to keep the light from the people in the dark. So they're hiding certain information and stuff. But so when the information, when it turns the other direction, and there's more of, I won't be censored like that. It will be more of open to where people can, it'll be like regular for everybody else, how they get to go out and make their accounts and stuff. And so I won't be fighting the fucking people who are trying to silence me. And then, but the thing that it always gets me is just like, because when that starts being, my kids have no idea what I talk about. And so they don't know, like, my conversations with people. I sent some comments before to one daughter to try and get her to see, like, what I'm talking about, and stuff. And, but there's just an aspect to just, it's a part of the thing. And I can just, it's like I can see it coming or something. And so I think that it seems to be that they just don't have any value for me, but I can see how it all came to be. And I can't just, blame it. It's a part of me of not being present enough, a part of me of being lost, there's just parts of me, I guess, that were missing or something. I don't know. I mean, we could try and break it down and break it down and break it down, how we get to where we are. But I think there's probably a lot of women who are in relationships with really overbearing people, and their kids see them through the overbearing person's eyes rather than through their own eyes. So I think it's probably just a typical thing that happens in these kind of dysfunctional households. that most of us have all tried to, you know, we were all existing in these dysfunctional relationships because we didn't know, like, fuck, even me, who I was out there looking for, you know, the spiritual thing. And I still was going through toxic relationship after toxic relationship, but I was toxic. See, I had to learn that. I had to learn how to grow, how to change, how I would stop being toxic. And that's why we all have to do that. We all have to stop blaming it on the other person as being toxic and just take responsibility and change our own toxicity. Stop thinking it's everyone else and realize that we're also playing that part. We're also toxic. And so we can make those changes. And as we all take responsibility for ourselves and make these changes, that's the wave of change. And then everything changes. So that's what we're in. We're in this wave of change. And so we're in this development stage of people realizing and looking at themselves and seeing things differently, taking responsibility for themselves. But through the thing, I just really feel like, you know, my kids, they just see me very different than how other people see me. And, you know, like, you know, if they heard me say, well, you just don't value, they wouldn't understand what I'm saying. It's different. Just like, you know, to tell me that to just get rid of my clothes or whatever. It's like, tell me to get rid of something that's so important to me and then to not even know how important it is to me. I don't know. There's just a whole thing. So but that is going to be as this flips, which, fuck, it's got to be close. Like, we'll see. We'll see how it goes on the market. I wish I could be on Twitter and see some of the stuff going on there, but I can't see it. I can't, none of it. So, hopefully there's a lot of shit going on. Hopefully the market really goes today and the housing thing starts going, because that will get people's attention. And then they do have all this threatening going on and wherever, and they've obviously left all these bombs sitting there so they can say, you know, we're being attacked and on the shore, and missiles are going, and then they've got these things set up to start exploding and causing chaos. So, and I, you know, and I know they were doing stuff like that in California too. Oh yeah, because it was Duran who was pointed out that one thing. And then but he was saying on a different level. Like the guys in New York, they were going around looking and like, this one looks just like this one. And, you know, they were freaking out. He was just like, that's weird. I can't believe nobody's messed with that. And that's when he said about the cameras. Oh, I bet it's because the cameras they watch. And then I was like, oh, I forgot they got cameras everywhere. The CCTV, they watch. They fucking know. They know where these things are being planted and shit. They know what the fuck's going on. And that's what, when I was seeing the parade too, I kept trying to be like, what street are they on? Are they around that 70th? Because I know around 70th, there was like 6 of them or something. And I don't know at all the layout there. So anyways, they're setting stuff up, but who knows how far it's going to go. I mean, whatever, they fucking hit Acapulco, and the guy who's boots on the ground there said it's the same fucking thing as in Hawaii, and they've cut them off. They won't let them, and this happened in Canada. It's happening everywhere. But they military and stuff cut off the roads. They won't let them get supplies to all the poor people, because they've got all these poor people in Acapulco, but they wanted just to be all rich people. So they want to get rid of the poor people. They're trying to kill them as usual and take their land. And so there is all of those people. And this guy said this wasn't a storm. He said all the big hotels and stuff, they're all repairable. He said you can tell, like all the windows and stuff are shot out and stuff like that. But he said everything is repairable. But he said you go out in the poor places, it's just gone. It's gone, and they're not letting the people get food or water. And these are all poor people. These are all the indigenous. You know, these are the natural people. They don't want any tribe people. You know, they just want, I don't know. It's not like they just want white people. That's just like they're you know, I don't know, if they're Homo sapien, there's probably a fucking long ass list. That's probably all this Generation X, Generation Z. It's probably all the fucking new generations of the new models they're putting out. And look at how many people go to fertility doctors and shit. And oh my God, damn. Fuck. And all the stuff that has come out in science and stuff, like, oh my God. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they were fucking putting fucking cells in women that would make sure the babies had certain things wrong with them so that they could see, like so that they could practice. So they've already developed the medicine for the disease they're putting in the babies that are going to be born. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's fucking madness, man. This had to blow up. It had to go away. Like, fuck, they got a stranglehold on us, man. And so the but so anyways, Acapulco, it's really bad, like all these other places, like, because that's still going on in Hawaii too. But see, that's the thing, and it is the places get, because I ran to, there's all these places. I mean, when's the last time we talked about Syria? Like, what the fuck's going on there? Like, goddamn, all these places, it's just like horribleness. And and they get cut off. But that is, it's not so we all sit here stressed out and like we got to run around and save the world. It's no, each group has to come together and fight against the beast. So it's an isolation, because people keep getting really upset. Well, they're cutting off the internet and stuff like that. But is the universe action, the hand of God part, is that isolation to get you to come together, to go against it, because we can't do anything. All of us can't do anything. We can have the awareness. We can see like, oh, fuck, there's fire over here, fire over there. These people are fighting them. And you start getting the idea like, oh, they're all fighting the same motherfuckers. And they've got fights, wars going everywhere. So there's shit going on everywhere. And but all the people in each group, that's why I said you got to be really present in your group. Whatever goes down in your area, that is what you're here for. And just keep in mind too, anything that happens and you find yourself out of your body, first thing I would do is just try and get back in. And but you also, a lot of people that go out of their body, and then your guides will take you to talk to you, to help you, to remind you. It's like you get a chance to go out and talk to them, like it's like you're in a boxing match, and then they ring the bell and you get to go sit over there and you got your coach over there talking to you. So some people get pulled out of the game so that they can go talk to their coaches. And so you could talk to your guides. You could call, as soon as you find yourself out of your body, you could holler out, hey, what's up? I want back in. And see, just ask them. And if they say, no, you finished, you're already done, then, you have to get yourself, because the thing that is very hard for people is like, you can be in the middle of doing something. Like you're in the middle of tying your shoe and you have a heart attack, you fall over, you die, and you all of a sudden you're out of your body. You still have that, like, I got to finish. Wait, I got to finish what I was doing. And it can, so that is what, is the drive behind so many ghosts. This one was good. I got to say this one too, because this was a guy who was talking about past life. It was a past life regression on somebody. And this woman was having, what was her problem? She was having some problem. Okay, let me think. Because she was having, so she was having some problem with her husband. And her husband, I think he left her. And she was super depressed or something. So she went to this hypnotist guy. And he would hypnotize people back to their point of trauma so that they could see why they were going through the things they were going through. When she went back to her point of trauma, she was in a whole nother life. This happened to Dolores Cannon. That's how Dolores Cannon got into the QHHT and stuff, because that's what she used to do. But she did it to help people not smoke and lose weight and stuff. And so, I don't know this guy's level, but this person went back into another life. And the life that she went back into, she became a ghost. And so she was married to this guy, and she was madly in love with him. He was, let's see, because it's always the opposite. So in the life that she's in presently, she's the one who's home, and her husband is taken off, and he's gone on an adventure and just left her, and he's not returned. And so she's super depressed. And so then when she went to the past life, so she was, because it was, I'm positive it was that he was the one who was home, and she was the one with the adventure. She wanted out. She wanted to go on adventure, and he wanted to stay home. So she took off and went. And then maybe it was that he died while she was gone. And so when she came back, she was so set. She had to take care of the farm. She had to fix the farm. She had to do all this stuff. And so she's just busy, trying to do all this stuff for the farm. And then she died. And when she died, she was so stuck on that drive. I've got to finish. I got to finish. I got to finish. I got to, I've got to protect this. I've got to do this. And it seems like he was the one who was gone, and she was trying to keep the house going until he got back. And whichever person left in the one life, it was the opposite in the other, because that's what she found. It was the same person. It was the same husband, only they had switched roles. The other one had left. But so while she was the ghost person, so she died, but she was still so driven. She didn't want anybody at the house. People started coming trying to buy the house and stuff. She would chase them off. She said she would throw things, she would move things, she would scream, she would do all sorts of things to keep people from this house. And she said, so the person's talking to her says, well, how did that change? How did you stop being a ghost? And she said, one of her guides came down and said, okay, have you had about enough of this? Because this is getting silly. And so she said, okay, yes. And she left. And they said, well, how long was it she did that? And she said it was about 4 years, 4 years that she was down there stuck, but that was the thing. And they will, she said, even when she left, they took her to a place that was just more gentle, to like a vacation. It's just like, you got to relax. You got to get out of that drive, because that's the confusion when so many people come out of their bodies and they die. Because they're so mind controlled, and they're just like, well, what the hell's going on? I'm still alive. Where am I? And so it is, that is the confusion. So the part of the ascension, the awareness, is so you understand. So if you do come out of your body, know what's going on. Know you're out of your body, that you are your body. I don't know if you left the game or whatever, but your guides will tell you. And then, but you will have that strong desire to finish what you were doing. You could have been, you could have been on your way to a date, and now you feel like you've got to get back to this person. And there's a lot of that stuff going on right now too, at the soul stuff. Like the stuff with the person who I'm attached to, like ours is, life after life after life. It's definitely like you go in and you have to re-find each other. And it's a big thing to find each other. Like, it's a lot of work because it's all on vibration. It's all on frequency. The people who come into your path are to help you raise your frequency. But then you got to keep on working on you as you are raising it, so that you can become in alignment. So it's a whole thing, and it'll make much more sense, after things get to that other part. I'm still waiting for that other part. But if I go into any kind of doubt or anything, I'll just be bombarded by them flooding me with, and there is a real sense of like, come on, Kelly, come on. So it's like, okay, I trust you. I trust you. I trust you. And so you just gotta go with the flow. Go with the flow. And so, okay. So remember who you are when you come out of your body. And if you get all crazy, just talk to your guides. They're always there. And so you don't have, there's always somebody there. And so you have help. So there's, the only confusion is the person's own self, their own belief system, their own doubt. So, anyways, this whole thing I always talk about anyways. So let me think. Okay. So I think it was Wednesday. We're finally fucking finished with the Halloween bit. I'd probably still be people fucking dressing in their costumes all week. They'll probably try and drag it out till this weekend. It's like mental. And then they'll go right away, start talking about Thanksgiving. Let's get ready for the next one. It's okay, consumerism. Let's just prepare. What are we going to spend our money on? What are we going to do? Let's buy. These poor people don't have enough of our money. So, or the poor people don't have enough of the money. The rich people don't have enough of our money. But there's not even any, I don't even think there's rich people anymore to take the money. I think that there's, and I'm talking the super rich. The people who are the money hoarder people. I'm not talking about just regular rich people. That's going to be on all different levels. That's going to be on all different awareness, all different lessons. Like, I'm sure there's people who are well off who don't have any idea what's going on. And when this happens, they're going to feel like they lost everything. But then there's lessons about, your value system. So all the things that are going to feel like huge loss and stuff, there's something in there that you need to grow, you need to learn from, you need to have awareness of. There's lessons. You're in a fucking giant lesson plan. You're on a ride that's taking you on your lesson plan, your lesson route, so you can learn and grow and expand. So, anyways, okay, we're almost at 2 hours again. Let me think if there was anything else. So we'll see how this day goes. Like, each of my days have just been so weird, and it's been so much talking and talking and talking to people on the phone, like a bug. And then let me think. It just everything still just seems like the chaos is just building to me. It's like I feel like when I go on TikTok, I just swear to God, I just feel like it's just this weirdest energy. So fucking weird. I don't know what Twitter's like. I don't know what Instagram is like. I don't know what all the other ones are like, but TikTok just seems like a weird energy. And that could just be my algorithm. It could be what the universe is trying to get me to stay focused on, like, yes, we're in change. Like, they keep screaming it at me and screaming it at me. Like, I do for sure. Well, just because something doesn't happen, I don't ever think, okay, well, I guess nothing's going to happen. No, I don't ever think that. I just think, like, God damn it. Now we got to wait for the next thing. God damn, how this is fucking stressful. Like, fuck. Go through this perfect opportunity to wipe us all out. Like, fucking hell, what are you going to do? What you going to do? It's like, come on, hurry up. Fucking take a shot, bitch. So, anyways, that's my day. That's my attitude. We all have our dark sides and our light sides, but it depends on, what you do with it. Like, laugh about your dark side, see your dark side, and, don't be down on yourself and hate yourself over it. And just keep in the flow of learning and growing and expanding and becoming the best version of yourself, whatever that is. Don't let anybody else tell you what it is. You're the only one who knows. Like, everybody else will tell you, fucking get rid of your clothes, do this, do that. Like, everybody else will have you living completely different than how you want to live. Live your best life, not the way somebody else thinks you should live. So, anyways, and enjoy the day, but don't be mindless. Like, stay present, and that is going to include a little bit of fear, a little bit of, like, anticipation. Something bad's about to happen. Not knowing how bad it's going to be, but knowing it's going to be probably pretty crazy. And we're going into some, like, crazy supernatural, metaphysical shit. Like, all these aliens up here having a fucking show in the skies. It's not just for entertainment. This is to wake us up, to get us ready for what's to come. So, anyways, enjoy your day and just keep working on you. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.